Hello guys, today we're about the worst weapons in Halo history. Of course, Halo has its fair share of good weapons, but like every game, there are bad weapons in every single Halo game. And I think we all know all of them. These weapons are uninspiring, boring, very useless in most scenarios. Why would you pick them up? Why would you use them? And yeah, these weapons are completely bad. So yes, these are the worst Halo weapons of all time. The first weapon on the list, in my opinion, is the Magnum from Halo 3. Yes, the Magnum from Halo 3 is awful. Doesn't even have a scope. Halo 1's Magnum did. Halo 2's one didn't have a scope, but at least it did slightly more damage. What would be the point of using the Magnum in Halo 3? There's no purpose. It's just it's much better alternative than using the Magnum. Okay. Oh, you can do with it. That's nice, but you can also do it with the plasma pistol, and the plasma pistol can at least EMP vehicles. So yeah, the Magnum is bad. One of the worst weapons in the entire Halo series. Number two, or no, next weapon on the list, or no, there's no list numbers, is the focus rifle. So we got this replacement for the beam rifle, and it's just, why did they add it to the game? Oh, so they can spook you in the campaign? Oh yeah, so spooky. But why did they replace the beam rifle? I know the beam rifle was not introduced in Halo 2, and it was not in Halo 1. Well, why couldn't we use it in Elites? Well, at least have it in Forge or something. But yeah, very, very not useful weapon. Number 3, the Plasma Repeater. Oh, this weapon's garbage. Plasma Repeater is basically it's a faster version of the Plasma Rifle. But it overloads more quickly. So basically, the Plasma Repeater is basically, you can never get a kill with a Plasma Repeater unless you find like an elite that is very weak on easy difficulty. The Plasma Rifle is also not that great, but the Plasma Repeater is even worse. The overcharge thing lasts for way too long, unlike the Plasma Rifle. It's just the worst version of the Plasma Rifle. Why would he use this? No one knows why. Next up on the list is the Storm Rifle. Basically another attempt to copy the original Plasma Rifle, and actually is a replacement for it to Halo 4. The Storm Rifle is basically just the Assault Rifle but for the Covenant. Basically a not very useful weapon. Why would anyone use it in the game? No one knows why. This game's absolutely garbage. Halo 4 is okay, but yeah. Next weapon in the list is of course the Bolt Shot in Halo 4. People say the Bolt Shot is so amazing, but the Bolt Shot leaves a lot to desired. The Bolt Shot is basically a worse version of the Plasma Pistol. Because the Bolt Shot, you can charge the Bolt Shot, but you only can miss half the time. And yes, there'll be people like, there's a new noob combo. No, the weapon sucks. It's garbage. Why would you use it over any other weapon in Halo 4? Maybe except for the Storm Rifle. Yeah, horrible. The next weapon in Halo that is completely horrible is the Concussion Rifle and Halo Elites. Of course, the Concussion Rifle is basically a worse version of the Fuel Rod Gun. Of course, it's much more common, and it's basically a replacement for the Boot Shot. But what's the point of this weapon? And it's just a lot of weird, odd weapons that were introduced in Halo Elites that replaced much better weapons. For example, the Focus Rifle replacing the Beam Rifle, and the Concussion Rifle replacing the Boot Shot. The Boot Shot was much more better and efficient than, of course, it was much more efficient and better than the Concussion Rifle. And why would anyone, next weapon in this is a Sentinel Beam. But in Halo 3 and Halo 2, not good weapon. Sentinel Beam is considered one of the worst weapons in Halo 2 and 3. It runs out of ammo too quickly, and it's basically like the Beam Rifle, the Focus Rifle, but without a scope. So you're basically using a focus rifle but without a scope. And this even wasn't a focus rifle. Sensible beam's like the pre-focus rifle. The focus rifle is not good, but the sensible beam's even worse. It was the bane of everybody's existence of the game. Next is suppressor. Oh yes. In Halo 4, like the bolt shot, it's garbage. Suppressor is basically just a very, very worse version of the assault rifle. Again, the assault rifle is much better than a suppressor in this game. Maybe we'll run out of weapons to use. I guess you'll use it. But yeah, that's not really useful at all. And yeah, it's bolt shot is one of the worst weapons in Halo 4. The other weapon is just bad as well. Yeah, the suppressor is just as bad as well. Next weapon, people always think this weapon is actually good, is the Spiker. Specifically in Halo Elites. Yes, the Spiker is a weapon that no one ever uses in Halo Elites. Spiker is basically a worse version of both the plasma rifle, which again, the plasma rifle is supposed to be used before taking out SEALs, and the assault rifle. Basically, and the needler, because the needler can super combine and explode. So what is the whole point of the Spiker? To give the Brutes one? Oh yes, that's yeah. They had to bring it. I think they just brought it back to bring back the Spiker, but yeah, they removed it. I think they removed it in Halo 4. Well, the Spiker is really only a brute weapon, but yeah, the Spiker not really useful weapon. Maybe good for melee, but why would you specifically try to use it? If you want even you have to do damage. Yeah, this is Spike is basically a worse version of an assault rifle. Even the suppressor is better. At least in Halo 3 and Halo 2 you can dual wield it, so it's saved from those two games. But yeah, in Halo Reach they removed dual wielding, which made the weapon even worse. They made it even worse. Next is the flamethrower in Halo 3. The flamethrower in Halo 3 is garbage. Do you wanna know why? Because they turned it into a turret instead of an actual weapon that you can use. Yes, let's take one of the best weapons of Halo 1 and turn it into a turret. Said no one ever. And yeah, that's why the Halo flamethrower has never came back. And yeah, it was basically killing a turret, you're slower, and yeah, basically if you switch the weapon, you drop the flamethrower. No ammo pickups. If it was really just such a heavy weapon, might be a certain multiplayer, but it's still fun to use in some maps. But why would you use this weapon if you're so slow? A sniper can easily take you out. It's just why did they made the weapon so uninspired? Next weapon is an infamous weapon, the Needler from Halo 2. I actually played Halo 2 in the Master Chief Collection, and now I realize that the Needler isn't that great in Halo 2. Halo 1, good. Halo 3, good. Halo 4, good. Halo 5, good. Everyone except for the only game that can dual Needlers. The Needler isn't that bad as the Sentinel Beam, but good God, at least dueling can save it from being at the bottom of the worst weapons list. Yeah, Watch Mojo, I would rather use the Magnum in Halo 3 than use the Needler. Because at least the Needlers can still walk on and super combine. The Magnum basically is the worst version of the battle rifle. Yeah, that's basically what the Magnum is. And again, in Halo 2 and Halo 3, the Magnum has no scope. So it's not a good weapon. But yeah, Needler, Halo 2, shoots very slow and reloads very slow. I think it's because of the thing, and Halo 2 Anniversary, they fixed the problems in the Needler as well. They made a reload a bit faster, and it's actually useful in the game. But Original Halo 2, not too good. The shotgun as well, again, the Halo 2 shotgun, again, the weapon needed enough. And they needed enough the weapon in some way. So, of course, they had to make the shotgun even worse, which makes playing the Ford more infuriating. And that makes more the reasons why Halo, Halo 2 is so hard, because a lot of the good weapons in Halo 1 were nerfed, such as the Magnum, such as the Needler, and such as the shotgun. 3 weapons that were amazing in Halo 1. But again, they basically nerfed all 3 weapons because they were too overpowered in the game, making those 3 weapons very, very not useful in the game. And yeah, Halo 5, the reason I'm not going over Halo 5 is because there's so many weapons that are spawnable in Warzone that are completely garbage, basically now. And yeah, there's so many weapons in Halo 5, we're not going to go over every single weapon in Halo 5. We're only going to go over ones for 4. And also I didn't really play Halo 5 that much, only beat the campaign and that's it. And yeah, the usual suspects are bad anyway, such as, the bolt shot and, your typical weapons, you know, and that are usually bad in every game. You know, basically the worst weapons in Halo 5, like the plasma turret, the bolt shot, and the sentinel beam. And basically a lot of the guns that are already on this list that are not buffed from previous games. But yeah, the the worst one, and also yeah, and yeah, Halo 5 is typical. Sentinel beam not that great again, and yeah, there we go. Those are the worst. Oh yeah, there's another weapon on the list. I was going to put the needle rifle on the list. I don't like the weapon, but at least it's very useful for headshots. So the needle rifle escapes the list. So yeah, there we go. That's the worst Halo weapons in all history. And yeah, I don't want to go over Halo 5 Warzone because there's so many weapons in that game. And yeah, the honorable mention is the needle rifle. Again, very, very, basically that's the Covenant version of the DMR, but sometimes, for some reason, it'll bounce off instead of actually hit your opponent. It's a very weird weapon to use. So yep, there you go. That's the worst weapons in all of Halo history. And yes, now we'll be going over the best weapons. Oh, you thought that we won't be done with this video? Well, of course, we all know what the best weapons in Halo are. We all know they are the Halo 1 Magnum. Again, we all know the Halo 1 shotgun. But the rocket one's in basically every game except for Halo 5. The energy sword in most of the games. The gravity hammer. Basically any power weapon except for the field gun. Not one of the best weapons to use. Basically a lot of those weapons. The carbine, the battle rifle. Yeah, all the good weapons. The sniper rifle. Yeah, it's really not that interesting to go over all the good weapons because you really don't have to explain why all the good weapons are good in Halo. And yeah, and neither except for Halo 2. And yeah, that's what I'm really just pointing out, like, the bad weapons in Halo. And yeah, basically in, like, the Halo 1, of course, the flamethrower, and of course there's a lot of other great weapons in every Halo games. Sniper, Halo 1, Halo Reach, and of course Halo 3. And yeah, a lot of great weapons from Halo 3, except for the Spiker. That's not that great either. But yeah, there we go. Those are the best worst Halo weapons. And some of the best at the end. So yep, there we go. That's basically it. Goodbye.